Hello and welcome. I wanted to talk about some important things today and give anybody watching this a little bit of a life update. I'm gonna start off by just being blunt and summarizing what I want to talk about. Um, I'm beginning my escape from my abusive parents. It's been a long time coming, but change needs to happen in my life right now. So, I'm putting all my efforts into getting the money I need to move out of here. And once I do, I will be cutting off contact from my family. And that'll be it. Um, I've been, trapped in this place for 26 years. And I can't go any further. I recently learned I got a little reward for some reason. I recently learned the difference between resilience and stubbornness. I was beginning to question if I had mistaken the two, and in fact I have. I've been stuck here in an abusive home for 26 years of my life. I'm 26 years old, but I'm just tired of being in this situation where nobody can help. Nobody's really coming to help. And I've tried escaping for a long time, but I have a dream, and that dream is to have financial freedom and to pursue my career as a content creator. I wanted to be a VTuber and a freelance artist, and I did my research, came up with a plan, and I've been busy grinding and executing that plan for well over 3 years now, and I'll hit a wall that isn't budging, and it's because I forgot that, I'm not gonna get anywhere where I live and who I live with. I'm not gonna go into detail about, the things that I've been through and what my parents have done to me, but it's time that I leave, and I'm sacrificing everything to make that happen right now. My physical health, my mental health, my spiritual health is all being put to the side as I grind to make the money to leave. Unfortunately, there's no way I can maintain any of that while I live here. I've lost too much of my life, and it's time I got that back. And I've reached a point where I'm going to ruthlessly take my life back, and I'm going to set boundaries once I have the power to do so. Like I said, once I leave, I am cutting off contact from my family. It's for the best. I planned on doing that for the long time. I've been lying low. You know, it's really the only option I can take. I can't have them in my life anymore. It has ruined me, to the point where I will be spending the rest of my life healing. It's time that I escaped and began living my fucking life. And that's just the bottom line. So I'm dropping everything. I'm putting content creation on hold. Until I get the money to leave. I'm not getting any luck getting a job because, well, it's big 2025 and the job market has never been worse. And the employment rate has never been lower. Nobody wants to hire anybody. And, all that. I'm not gonna, go into detail about it, but I see it as a sign that, I obviously shouldn't be relying on a job for income. I have a plan for financial freedom, and it's gonna take a long time, but, the simple way of saying it is that I'm going to go for multiple sources of income. I said that I've always wanted to be a freelance artist, and I wanted that to be like my main way of, bringing home the bacon. So it's time I started actually doing something about that. And my first step is getting my hands on a drawing pad. I'm gonna get like an iPad or something. Probably the cheapest one, because I don't really have a source of income other than doing Uber Eats, and doing food delivery is absolute trash. Um, the money is just really fucking pathetic. So, for the amount of time you put in doing deliveries and the amount of time you get, shit you get back is just, it's awful. But, I've reached a point where I've invested well over 3 years into pursuing my careers, and I haven't gotten anything back. And the main reason is, because of the place I live. I can't do the things I want. I can't maintain my physical health here. I can't maintain my mental health. I can't maintain my spiritual health. All of that gets taken away from me. And, just like everything else, my money, nothing is really left for me here. I'm not really allowed to have anything. So it's time I took it's time I took it all back. My short-term plan is to get, hopefully I can get a job here, but I'm going to start trying to make money off of doing art, doing digital art. I don't really know exactly what I'll plan on doing, but I've been doing character design for at least some time now, at least like a number of months, and I can actually, think of a few ways that I can make money doing that. Maybe I can do commissions or whatnot, but that's all up for me to figure out how I'm going to do that. I have to get creative here and explore my avenues once I get a drawing tablet. But that's the first step in kind of a short term. The long term is obviously to expand as much as I can, doing art and content creation and getting multiple sources of income through that. I want to be completely independent. I don't want to rely on a job anymore. And I think that's part of the reason why I haven't really been getting a job. Call it divine intervention or something like that, but, if I had to get some sort of message from the universe here, it's that, a job isn't going to help you right now. It's just going to, lock you into place and prevent you from going forward. You have to find a way to make money on your own. And it's time you started doing that, I've been investing so much time and effort. And, I stream on a daily basis with basically shit all equipment. And all it's doing is holding me back. I've hit a wall. And I'm just wasting energy trying to break through this wall. So, change is coming. And I'm putting everything to the side until that happens. So, it might be months. I don't know how long I'll be gone until I can get back to making content again. But it's all for the better. I truly believe that everything will work out once I finally leave this place and get things under control. I have no doubt that I can do it. I can be fine on my own. I'm just, I've been put in such a shitty spot that it's been almost impossible to escape, but I'm determined to make it happen at this point. So, again, I don't know when I'll be back. I don't know how often I'll be able to stream or make videos. It'll likely be maybe once a week. I'll try to make some sort of update and keep people up to date as to what's going on in my life right now. Because I'll be pretty much on my own. I already am. But I'll be truly alone once I leave. And I think that's fine. I'm not really worried about that. But, I'm hoping, I'm trying to get out as quick as I can. So, I'll be spending the majority of my time trying to grind for money and finding ways to make money. I'm hoping I can get out in around 3 months or so. Or less. I want to be able to leave before Christmas. But, you know, I don't have an exact date. It's kind of impossible, you know, because I don't really have the income to really calculate how long it's going to take. But I'm more than ready to leave. It's been a long time coming, and I believe good things are waiting for me on the other side. And I'll only know once that finally happens. I'm going through a very difficult time in my life, so I appreciate anybody who even took the time to watch this video for even just a few minutes. It means a lot to me. It's my dream to be a content creator and freelance artist and be a VTuber. And it's time to make that fucking happen, huh? I'm just done with everything here. I'm not afraid to leave it all behind. I'm not going to let go on content creation completely. Again, I'm just putting it to the side until I'm in a better place to pick it back up. So, on the other hand, it's important when it comes to art, since I plan on making that my main thing for my finances. Obviously, it's going to be important for me to keep up with that more than anything. So, streaming and making videos is going to be, you know, not really happening that much. There's not much else to say. I'm just kind of at a loss for words, but you know, there's a lot on my shoulders right now, and I barely even have the energy to even talk because I'm so exhausted. But that's it for me tonight. And anybody who stuck around this far, I really appreciate it. If it's your first time like seeing me, then I don't know, ooga booga, hello. Thank you for clicking on this video. And I'll keep you guys updated. That's it for me today. Thank you and bye bye.